young people should find opportunities within the startup ecosystem in Ghana. And it's going to be an amazing show. We have on the lineup Mr. Solomon Ajay, who is the president of the Association for Ghana Startups, to have a very important conversation about how startups even operate in Ghana, who is allowed to even start a startup, and what frameworks, government frameworks, affect the startup ecosystem in Ghana. And we have our usual guests, Jackie, today. Jackie, you want to say something?
Hello, hi people. I'm back on your screens and on your radio, and we have amazing opportunities lined up for you, so don't go anywhere.
So let's listen to some music and we'll come back your way very soon with an interesting programming today. So Next Gen Connect on Z101.9 FM. You can join us live on Facebook, Instagram, and X on ZFMGH. You can join us on Z Multimedia on TikTok. And then you can also watch us on ZTV on YouTube. We are live, and so join us online and also on radio. Up next, we are going to look at the opportunities that we have for young people this week. Jackie.
Yeah.
Last week, we gave some interesting opportunities. Can you give us a recap of what we went through so that if people missed it, they can still catch up to those that are still yet to go run out, right? So let's look at a recap of our opportunities for last week.
Okay, so great. We had a lot of amazing opportunities last weekend. I would recap a few which are still on that you can apply to. So first, we have the UNICEF Startup Lab Accelerator Program 2026. And this is a 6-month innovation accelerator that supports early stage startups and social enterprises addressing pressing social challenges that are affecting young people and children. And it's still on for application, but the deadline is tomorrow.
Wow, just tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Please, young people, hurry up and apply if you've not already applied. And then the deadline is tomorrow so that you can get into the UNICEF Startup Lab. Jackie, let's go. Let's run through
Yeah.
the other.
We also have the Leap Africa Leadership Accelerator Program 2026. This is a capacity building initiative and is designed to address gender disparity in women's leadership on the African continent. The application deadline is February 28th. That is next week, Saturday. You don't want to miss it. It's still up for application. We also have the Faith Foundation AI Upscaling Program. This is also a mid-country initiative building a sustainable ecosystem for advanced AI education in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. And this is ongoing throughout the year, so you can apply anytime. This is open. If you miss it, you know that it's still ongoing, so you can still apply for it. We also have the Google for Startup Accelerator Africa program, and this is a 3-month hybrid acceleration program for growth stage technology startups in Africa. The deadline is 18th March 2026. That is next month, and you want to hop onto it and then check out their pages for the link for the application and also other requirements. And finally, we have the Australia Awards Master Level Scholarship. This is a scholarship and it's fully funded for tuition, return air travel, establishment allowances, and other living expenses. This is fully funded, and Ghana is included for the scholarship. For you want to hop onto it in any field that of study. Once you are opting for a master's program, you want to consider taking these scholarships into consideration. The application deadline is on the 30th of April 2026. The 30th of April 2026.
Wow. So there's some time for people to actually take their time and apply for that. That was a recap of our opportunities for last week. And Jackie, we have some opportunities also available for this week. I don't know if you run us through them.
Yeah,
and
we're
then
going
we can
to do
discuss.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, very amazing opportunities. First, for this week, we have the KPMG Female Founders in Africa Competition 2026. And this competition aims to empower women entrepreneurs by providing support, resources, and networking opportunities to drive positive transformation in their communities. To be eligible, you must have a registered company in the country, that is in Ghana or any of the regions in Ghana, and it should be a female-owned business. It must be active in operation for at least 1 year. It should be tech-enabled, tech-driven, and tech-led, and it should not be owned by any other large corporation, and you should be able to pitch in English. So some benefits are you get the access to the KPMG mentorship program, you get access to investor deals, branding and visibility for your startups, and also access to the community engagements. The deadline is February 28, 2026. February 28, 2026. You want to look out for this application on the KPMG website, so www.kpmg.com for this application. I'm taking the second one, and that is the 2026 World Bank Group Youth Summit. And this is an event for young leaders to engage with global development issues. You explore innovative solutions and also connect with industry experts and like-minded peers. So for the eligibility criteria, you should be between the age of 18 and 35. You should be a student or young professional or an entrepreneur. You must also be passionate about development issues, technology, and inclusive economic growth. The benefits are you get to engage with global development leaders and experts. You get to participate in interactive workshops and panel discussions. You get to network with peers and professionals. You also get a certificate of participation. You also gain insights and skills to drive impact. You also get to join a network of over 10,000 alumni from about 170 countries. The deadline for this application is March 11th, 2026. We also have the Africa Compt Fellowship Program 2026. This is a 1-year fellowship program that brings together visionary young leaders from Africa and leading German companies. To be eligible, you have to be a citizen of any African country with a university degree in relevant subjects. You must also have excellent English language skills, basic knowledge in German, and you must not be older than 35. The benefits is you get a 1-year stay in Germany with a partner company. You get language and courses and cultural integration. You get management training and mentorship, networking opportunities with German companies and African professionals. And you get the opportunity to become an Africa Compt alumni and participants in ongoing networking events. The deadline for this program is March 22nd, 2026. We also have the 2026 World Food Prize Foundation Innovate for Innovate for Impact Challenge. This initiative is by the World Food Prize Foundation in collaborating with America's Cultivation Corridor, and it is aimed in accelerating agricultural technology innovation. To be eligible for this program, you must be an early stage for profit startup in the agri-tech space. You must be in your development stages from validation, concept to pre-series A funding. You must have at least one founder working full-time on the project. You must also demonstrate innovation, market potential, and alignment with sustainability goals. The benefits is a top prize of $50,000 for the winning startup. You get global exposure at their events. You get opportunity to engage with investors and industry experts, and you also get to engage with some policymakers. The deadline for this application is April 15th, 2026. You want to go to www.worldfoodprize.org for the application forms to apply for this challenge.
Amazing, Jacqueline. I think we've gone through several opportunities for today, and I think young people would have a lot on their table this week. You're still tuned in to Next Gen Connect on Z101.9 FM. My name is Oliver, and I'm here to serve you. There's one last opportunity that I want you to throw more light on, Jackie. So if we can take that one, the HSIL Hackathon 2026. What is that about?
Okay, so this is a global event where innovators co-create health solutions, focusing on building high-value health systems by leveraging AI. For this program, the Ghana chapter is being hosted in collaboration with the University of Ghana Business School Innovation and Incubation Hub, or UGBS NEST for short. So to be eligible for this program, this is open to all inspired to advance health systems through innovation. This is for team students, engineers, designers, policy analysts, entrepreneurs, and others in the health sector. And participants can join through the local hubs. That is for Ghana, you can join through the UGBS Innovation and Incubation Hub. So you want to go to their pages on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. The links are shared as part of their posts. You want to connect with them. But the deadline is the 27th of February. So this is just next week, Friday. So you want to be fast about it. If you're interested in innovations for the health sector using AI, this is an opportunity for you. So University of Ghana students, KNUST, UCC, Ashesi, you want to hop on to this program.
Opportunity, yeah. Right? I hear it is being hosted by Harvard. Is that true?
Oh yeah, this is a Harvard initiative. So the Harvard Health System Innovation Lab, that is the HSIL.
So if you're a young person in Ghana and you ever dreamt of working with Harvard or attending Harvard, this may just be your way
Yes.
to go into Harvard. You're still logged onto Next Gen Connect on Z, and you can join us on Facebook, X. You can also join us on YouTube as we go through our programming today. We'll take some music and then we'll come back very soon, and then we'll have a brief conversation about young people, youth fragility, and how young people can have opportunities in Ghana. The term that we've been throwing around a lot is youth fragility. Jackie, youth fragility, what does that mean to you?
Okay, so I think I understand it as challenges the youth go through in terms of their communities, their surroundings, in terms of access to opportunities. That is what I can say about youth fragility.
There's an interesting development that has happened in Ghana recently. If you remember the committee that did the constitutional review, they brought one recommendation that the age for being legible for a president should be reduced from 40 to 30. So in the next few years, we may have 30-year-olds being the president of Ghana. Do you think the youth today, Gen Zs, do you think we are ready to be president of Ghana and to run the affairs of Ghana? What do you think?
So I think earlier I made some statements that
Are you retracting them on air?
it had me thinking. So maybe I'll just I still stand on my
that the youth are not ready.
Yes, like as I now.
We are not ready.
Even though we are showing promising signs, but like right now, given like at this exact moment, maybe earlier in the year or the years coming.
But I think I have a beef with that. I think if you don't give young people the opportunities now, then they will not be able to fail and then learn and then be right for the task. If we are saying young people are not ready now, when will they be ready, Jackie? If you were minister for women and children affairs, do you think you will not be great at it?
Oh, I would. And I mean, not every youth currently wants to use the opportunity we are being provided. Even we mentioned some opportunities earlier on, and not everyone, people hear them, people see them, not everyone takes the further step to actually apply for these. But then you hear them saying there are no opportunities, there are no jobs. But then we are sharing them, we are being given opportunities. Not everyone wants to go through the steps. They see it as being difficult. It's not something that when you click on it, I'm
throwing the challenge
soon. So
yes. I'm throwing the challenge to young people out there. There are so many opportunities and we want you to take advantage of them. Next on our conversation today is with the president of Association of Ghana Startups, Mr. Solomon Ajay. And then we'll take a short commercial break. And when we are back, we have this big conversation with Mr. Solomon Ajay. I mean, we've had this interesting conversation about young people having opportunities within the Ghanaian startup ecosystem. And we have an interesting guest he is in charge of startup activities in Ghana. He's worked in the sector for a long while. I have actually worked with him in several spaces in the ecosystem. And today we have an interesting conversation. So let's introduce our guest for today. He's the president of the Association of Ghana Startups, and he's here in the person of Mr. Solomon Ejay. Welcome, Senior.
Thank you, bro. I hope you're good.
I am good.
Good afternoon to you and, of course, your listeners and viewers across the globe.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Amazing. We are happy to have you. We know you have a busy schedule, but thank you for making time to join us today. Young people in Ghana are listening to you.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Thank you. Like you said, the schedule is quite tight.
Yes.
But of course, we're working for the youth and with the youth. And so when you're called upon, you have no option than to be here. Happy to be here, and of course to have this dialogue with you.
Amazing. So, Mr. Solomon, tell us about Association of Ghana Startups. What are you doing? I know you're doing some great work, but tell us about it and your role as president and how you coordinate the ecosystem.
Right, thank you. So, like you said, I lead the Association of Ghana Startups. Our role basically supports startups across the country. So we are umbrella body for startup entrepreneurs across. We support basically from ideation to growth stages, right? So somebody have an idea, they want to do business. How would they turn their ideas into business? That is our role. We support you from the inception up to your building your MVP, raising your capital, scaling beyond market, and things like that. So that's basically what we do. We work around 4 key thematic areas. The first is capacity building, where we run trainings, we run workshops, initiative that will build the capacity of the young people, right? So oftentimes you have many things in your mind, but you are torn between what to do, how to get what it, and all that. Our role is to ensure that you know the A's from the B's, all right? And so we do various components of trainings, both locally and externally, both in Accra, some outside Accra, among others. We work with external partners, so we work around the entire continent, entire country and beyond the country to other countries within the continent and even beyond the continent. Apart from the capacity building, we also do access to finance. Okay. So first, build a capacity. The second is help them to raise money for their business. All right. So then we help make you investor ready. We run program that make the young people investor ready. After that, investor ready in such a way that what you want to do and what you're doing, how do you ensure that what you need is what investors are also looking for? All right. So somebody have got a nice business, but then they are not doing things right in terms of how business is supposed to be done. Yeah. Your bookkeeping, you issue payments, no receipt, no records, and even paying your staff on the tabletop instead of paying through the bank system and all those kind of, the records are not even there, properly kept. So that is what we mean by helping you to be ready. Because you need to, investors want to look at your books to see that, are you doing A, B, C, and D? If you are doing them, how are you doing them? Yeah. Is that the right way? So we prepare these startups to be investor ready. And when we're done with that, we have a lot of investor meetup that we do. So we have what we call the demo days. So demo days is a chance where young people are brought in the room to come and showcase what they're doing. So it's a chance for you to show that I'm doing A, B, C, and D. It may not be up to the market yet, but just for people to see that you are doing this. So they can give you their feedback, their reviews, and all that, right? Mm-hmm. That's the demo day session. Normally, it's not for fundraising. Yeah. It's just to take feedbacks, And so somebody may be in the room and who be interested to support you with funding or connect to other funding and stuff. But the key focus of the demo day is not necessarily to raise funds, but to more like take reviews and let people know what you're doing and all that. Yeah. But if you're lucky to get any investors in the room, hallelujah.
Good. I think that is really cool.
Yeah. So beyond that, we have a pitch competition that we do. That's where you really connect to the funders, investors in a room where you talk to them and who are willing to invest money into your business. We have day room session. The day room is where we have one-on-one direct contact with the investor. You see the investor to discuss your business ideas, and then your business, not idea, but your business itself. All right. I often say this, that young guys go around pitching their ideas, but I advise always that do not pitch your idea. Pitch your business. We'll talk about that later as we as we make progress.
Of course.
And so beyond the investor side, we also do access to market. 1, build a capacity. 2, help them raise money. 3, after they raise money, what do? They produce. When they produce, how do they sell? So we also run programs that put them to the market, the end users of that product, right, or services. So per that we do. We have some trade show that we do, or exhibition sessions, among others, that we do as part of our conferences and all that, both locally and beyond the country. We have programs that we call it trade missions, for instance. That is where we mobilize young people to travel to other countries, participate in programs. For instance, coming next month, we are doing program in the US, for instance.
Amazing.
In April, we are doing program in Germany. In June, we are doing program in the UK as well as France. And then we have another one in the US as part of World Cup, and then Canada is in July. So we partner with international organizations to run this give them access to foreign markets and exposure to the business world, right? We'll talk about this as we progress.
Okay.
Beyond that, also we talk to politics. Politicians, stakeholders, government institutions, and all that. What we call the policy advocacy. All right. No matter what you do, the policies are not conducive enough, you may end up collapsing. In business, I've learned 2 things. There are internal factors and external factors. The internal, those are you can control. You need to keep your boots and all those things. That's internal, you need to do them. Nobody can do for you. But there are some external factors. No matter what you do within your internal, it can affect you whether you like it or not. If the government today says that no one is importing rice again, whether you like it or not, if you are into rice importation business, it's collapsed. So we also talk to government and policy makers to ensure that there are fair policies that will support the young people to do their businesses. And per that, we are doing a few more great works in there. We started the bill to go to Parliament to become a law. The startup bill, we can talk about that as we progress. Yeah. We last year also enacted a 5-year strategy to help build the ecosystem the way it's supposed to be built, among other things that we are doing. So basically, in a nutshell, that is what we do to support startups across the board. We've been running for the past 7 to almost 10 years now, right? Yeah, 10 years, I should say. Yeah. So we've been doing this for a while. The brand has changed.
Yes,
we started with the Youth Business Network Foundation. Then we changed the Ghana Startup Network. Before, about some few years back, we rebranded it to the final rebranding.
Yes, because you're doing great work with it.
Sometimes the transition lets you know where you're supposed to focus on, right?
Yeah.
When we started, it was youth entirely.
Yeah.
Then when we made progress, we realized that we should focus more on startups. So that we changed it to the Startup Association or Startup Network. Okay. Then as we grew, we realized that now it's becoming more bigger and more things are coming in. Can we make it a full-fledged association?
Yeah.
That's where we are now. So now we are. I think we've arrived.
Yeah, I think you're doing some great work. We are going to delve deeper into it, but let's break it down this way. You mentioned youth in the beginning, and I'm happy you did that because that is the focus of our interview today.
Yeah.
My question would be, do you think the youth of Ghana, let me define the youth a little bit more. There's research, there's statistics that is showing that by 2030, the African youth will be the most dominant population in the world. Over 42% of Africans will be the youth, like the youth population in the world. And so trade is going to be driven by the youth. Commerce, startups, everything is going to be driven by the African youth.
Yeah.
If you look at the work you're doing today, do you think the youth of Ghana are interested? Are they participating? Are they taking advantage of all the things that you've spoken about? Is the Ghanaian youth ready for this drive?
Well, so I can say we're ready. I can say we are getting ready. Either way, because we are getting ready because most of us youth define in our context is anyone below 35. I think below 18 and 35 years or so, right?
Yes, 18 and 35.
But again, most of us within that range are students.
Yeah.
In that part of the world.
Yeah.
Most of us within that range are students. We're either in school trying to, figure it out what we can do after school, or we're out of school trying to find a job before we can, make some small money and think of starting business and things like that, right? So for now, the key issues really is around employability. Okay. How do we ensure that we get a job? I mean, when we were going to school way back in the 90s, your parents would tell you, go to school, learn hard, so that you finish school, you graduate and get a job.
A good job. Yes.
Not just a job, but get a good job.
Yes.
They never taught us to be entrepreneurs. They never taught us to be creative, to identify what you can do as a talent and grow it up. It was not part of our conversation. It was all go to school, learn hard, so that when you graduate, you can get a good job that will pay you well.
Yeah.
So the focus for us has been employability as we speak now as a nation.
Okay.
And we as APOA, and we think that one of the key ways to employ is through entrepreneurship, job creation among the youth, so that you yourself create your own business. Okay, it's been very difficult, I can say. It's been challenging. I mean, for 10 years in this industry, I can say in authority that the youth of Ghana are not fully ready to embrace the spirit of entrepreneurship yet. But we are getting there. The fault is not from them.
Okay.
Like I said, it's our orientation from the onset. It's more of go out there, learn, go to school, learn, pass your exams, graduate, and go get a job. We were never given the privilege or whatever it is to identify our own strength and then, come out with innovative ways to live and to create something for ourselves. So most of us are hardly looking for a job. Meanwhile, we can do something for ourselves and all that. But thankfully, things are changing. And we've been advocating that entrepreneurship should be taught in schools.
Yeah.
Again, now we are having most universities even adopting that startup ecosystem approach. So now we have hubs in various campuses. I can talk about UG, for instance. There's a hub in UG. There's a hub at KNUST, UCC, UDS. I think have one as well.
Yeah.
Many institutions now having their own innovation hubs, incubators, and all that support the young boys, the young guys with their own ideas, right? That is good for us.
Yeah.
So that the point is that once they are being supported to be creative whilst they are in school, they may start business or anything on campus. By the time they graduate, that thing can become a business.
Of course.
So they may graduate to become job creators and not job seekers. What we've been doing over the years, our education system have been training people to be job seekers and not job creators.
Yeah.
But thankfully, things are changing now. I mean, for the past 2-3 years now, since we started engaging students mostly on our programs, we can see many students coming up with great ideas.
Yeah.
We have people coming through our system where we support them, and some came as NSPs.
Wow.
National Service Personnel,
Yeah.
and they came already having their own concept, and then we help them to shape it to become business. There are some that came and said, look, boss, I have my own thing run already on campus. I mean, this year, we do NSS onboard, like a bulk thing for the startups.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a program with the NSS Secretariat. So what we do is that every year, they give us NSS personnel in bulk, big numbers, and then we deploy them to work with the startup companies on ground. So government funds, one of the program that we do with the government, and we thank the Ministry of Youth for this collaboration, as well as the National Service Secretariat for this amazing partnership, right? And interestingly, some will come and they already have an idea that they want to do something. Some will come and they already have their business running from campus.
Amazing.
And so you still place them, but then you find ways to support them to be able to grow their businesses. And those who have their own idea they want to start, we also run training that will support them to start their business. In fact, this year we are doing series of them. In fact, we are starting this year's training just this Friday. Amazing. Where we're having capacity building series for the NSP that we've onboarded. So I mean, we're getting there. And even beyond the schools, beyond the universities, the technical schools are also doing well. And even beyond those going to school, the young guys who are home are also doing amazing things. Believe you me.
Yeah.
Some are doing amazing things through the TV sessions and all that. Handicraft, the tailors, the masons and all that. People want to do something for themselves now. Everybody wants to get involved and do something for themselves.
Yeah.
And so they are finding ways and means to get things done. The system is not properly structured to support everybody yet, but we are getting there. I hope that very soon things will improve.
Amazing. Mr. Solomon is the president for the Association of Ghana Startups, and he's given us some nuggets. I think there are certain things I'll pick from what your submission right now. And you mentioned the help, for instance, that National Service Secretariat and NEIP, for instance, are giving to the ecosystem. I would say, and I know you've worked extensively on the document for the National Startup Bill.
The bill, yes.
And so I want to ask, is there a system that is intentionally placed in Ghana? I mean, you can speak to it and then also speak to the challenges. But is there a system in Ghana that is orchestrated to support startups?
Well, as we speak, the answer is no.
Wow.
It's a straightforward no.
Wow.
All right? We don't have any yet. But we have a document for SME. We have a bill for SME. I mean, an act for SME. All right. You know, like I said, the startup word actually is new to us, our space. All right. It's a Silicon Valley, jargon.
Wow.
So it's quite new to our space. In fact, Africa as a whole. About 2 years ago, AU released a policy guide on how African countries can enact startup bills across Africa.
Okay.
And so this is just about a year or two ago. So it tells us that it's quite new to our space, right? In fact, we are still struggling with the definition of startup.
I can understand. I mean, when you ask anybody what is a startup in Ghana, people will likely give you an SME definition and not really what a startup is. So I can understand where you are coming from.
So as we speak, we are still struggling with it. You know, I remember when we were drafting the bill, for instance, whenever we sit and the definition comes in, we can spend almost half of the day deliberating on how we should create or couch the word startup. You know, some say we focus on just tech, some say just innovation, some say both and all that. So we've gone back and forth on this, but thankfully we have the bill drafted.
Okay.
It's called Ghana Innovation and Startup Bill.
Ghana Innovation and Startup Bill.
Yeah, so we finished it. We finished drafting about a year or so ago. When the new government came in, we finished drafting under the elsewhere MPP government. When the new government came in, we presented to the Minister of Communication and Digital, what's the name? Digital Technologies.
Yes.
Or technology. There's no S there. Digital technology. So he's Honorable Sam George is hosting the bill now. Other ministries have shown great interest, including the Ministry of Youth, because primarily most startups are youth. And so the Ministry of Youth have also shown great interest in it. Alongside the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, because the tech aspect, they also have shown great interest in it. Of course, the Ministry of Trade is also interested in the bill. Because primarily, whatever you do as a business, you must trade. And so Trade Ministry, among others, are showing interest in it. But the bill has not gone to Parliament yet.
Wow.
What we did, we understood it was more of a layman, language. So they need to turn the whole thing around, the legal framework, bring in exactly that kind of thing. So that's what the ministry is doing now. We're hoping that they finish very soon, and then they go to Parliament, right? Once they get to Parliament, we believe that this will not be kept on the shelves for long.
It has to happen.
Because, everybody, youth unemployment is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a national canker that we are fighting against, right?
Yeah.
And so if there's a document that will support job creation among the youth, I don't see any politician, delaying its passage. So we're hoping that once we get to Parliament, it will pass as soon as possible. In fact, this year, that's our target.
Okay.
Before the year end, this bill should be passed. And the bill is a structured document that is going to support the startups across various phases, including various incentives. In fact, the first one is that it will define what a startup is.
Okay.
All right. The second one is it will set up an agency, a dedicated institution that will support solely startups. Okay. So that if I want anything as a startup, this one needs to go the government side. As you speak, at the private side, if you're a startup in Ghana, the moment you start thinking about startup as a private institution, what you should look at for is AGS, where I sit. Okay. Our mandate supports startups across board. Yeah. Whether tech or non-tech, we have to facilitate support you. But then for the government side, who is going to play the regulatory role and all that? That will be defined by the bill. By the act once it's passed. Among other things like tax incentive, about 8 years tax holidays we're asking for young people. We're asking for employment support. What you actually started doing something with the NSS now. Yeah. Like when a young boy start a company, you can get some support in terms of employment because you realize that you have the job.
Yeah.
You need to employ
people,
but you don't have what it takes to employ.
that is the problem. So such a collaboration is very vital,
right?
In the ecosystem.
So government comes in and says, okay, take 1 or 2 people that work with you for the year, and then I will, as a government, will pay for it. In fact, even for what we do at our end, beyond the government support of the 1 year NSS, we have also engaged other partners that are supporting us to also employ the graduates.
Amazing.
Post NSS, right? The key focus also is not just about NSS. We're looking at employability beyond NSS. And so you have other support that's coming in that says that, okay, if you want to employ any NSS graduate from our cohort, you get half of their salary.
Amazing.
So that we pay you half of the salary through our partners, and then you also top up to pay them up. We want to believe that all these things are helping the younger people to employ. But like I said, unemployment is a major wahala. And so once we are training these people, some are, in fact, not everybody can be an entrepreneur or can be a startup. Some can be startups. Yeah. Some will work But the mistake that we are kind of making is that we are focusing startup employment, entrepreneurship and all that. It looks like everybody must be a
startup, of course.
But no, we can't get it all. Yeah. So whilst we are trying to train people to be entrepreneurs and all that, we also don't forget to train those who work with these entrepreneurs to understand the work ethics and all that, and that you may end up getting the entrepreneurs all right, but then the people who work with them may mess up things up for them. Amazing. So yeah, the blend is very important.
Amazing. We are having a very interesting conversation with Mr. Solomon J on Z101.9 FM Next Gen Connect. And we are going to the final bit of our conversation. Right. And I want us to talk about AGS proper.
Right.
And then the work you do at AGS. I know you are doing amazing stuff.
We're trying.
I know you're doing amazing stuff. I know. Because, we've come across...
Way back,
and we've worked on several things. So I know you're doing amazing stuff. So as a young person, as you mentioned, we are trying
when I knew you didn't have beers.
I was a small one. Now there's a small beer. Amazing. I think this conversation is important because you mentioned in the formulation of the startup bill that the government will set up a secretariat. Yeah. But now, as it stands now, the best place to go is AGS when you're trying to start your business as a starter, as a young person.
Yes.
How do people find opportunities with AGS? Young people. How do they join the association? I know you run an interesting program, the Ghana Startup Week, where you give some awards to young people. So can you elaborate on that? How do young people assess the support from AGS? How do we come on board? How is your programming? These opportunities that you mentioned, how do we assess them?
Right. Thank you very much. So first and foremost, let me clarify also that yes, we don't have any dedicated agency now for startups, but of course we have other agencies that support us. One of them is NEIP. Yes. One of them, like I mentioned, the National Secretariat. One of them is a GEA. Of course, the National Youth Authority also does support the youth and and all that. So we work with all these institutions across board. The Association of Ghana Startups, normally called AGS, where I sit, we just moved into a new office at Mataiko.
Amazing.
So we have a bigger space. We used to be at Accra Data Center. But we were in a bit smaller. Now we move out to a bigger space now. So we have co-working spaces where every young person who wants an office space can come in and work. Okay, so it's a plug and play. You don't need to pay rent for 10 years, 5 years, or whatever it is. You can come in and just work for the day and go. All you need is your laptop. We have stable internet, a proper broadband internet. What's the name of that? There's a new one they call it. What's the name? The fiber.
Fiber
yes,
internet.
We've invested into a proper solid fiber internet. So the startups works mostly online. So you need to get stable internet. That's the first thing we look at. Secondly, like I said, it's a plug and play. You come in with a laptop, you sit down, you work, and you finish up, you go away. Either you pay by monthly or weekly or whatever it is. Per your budget, you can come in and work. All right. We run trainings to support these young guys to move. All right, so capacity building components, we run them periodically. But we're having monthly meetups where we bring investors and other partners for the networking sessions. And that will happen every month. We're having demo sessions as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we do demo days. We'll have investor meetups. We have pitch competitions and all that within that premises, okay? And in fact, we also have place for events We have a 100-seater plus auditorium. So if you want to host any event for startups or for youth promotion, you can come in there and host events there. And that also gives us the chance to host various activities. You mentioned a startup week, for instance. Startup week happens every year.
Yes.
So that's the biggest convening of the whole ecosystem every year that we do it. We need to host at various locations. But this year, by the grace of God, in September, we'll host it at our own office. We'll use that to commission the new place that we're working from now.
So this is an exclusive announcement. This year's Startup Week will be hosted at the new office of the Association of Ghana Startups.
Office, yes. We pray for grace.
Amazing,
grace, right? And so that is it. But beyond that, let me also throw a bit more light on the exposure programs, the networking sessions. You see, young people must take networking very seriously. Okay. Like someone said, your next job money is in someone's pocket. Okay, and so once you go out, get involved, meet people, let them know what you're doing, prepare yourself well to move on a daily basis. We have something called an elevator pitch or a 1-minute pitch. Assuming you meet somebody for the first time, how will you impress the person to listen to you again? So as you move out as a young person, whether you are a startup or you are just an ordinary young person around, you need to be prepared at all times. What if you meet your angel on the way?
Investor,
You have 1 minute to impress the person. What will you say? Okay. So I mean, these are things that we're trying to run for the people. And like I mentioned earlier on, we have other opportunities across board. The international programs, like I mentioned, we are doing Learning Tech Week in June. We are doing Viva Tech in France, and also in June. We are doing Startup Fest in Canada, also in July. We have a program for the World Cup also in June. And of course, even before that, we have a program in Germany in April. And then we have other things around that we can all participate in as young people. Our key focus on those international trips is to bring in diaspora investment so that we can leverage on diaspora funds coming home to invest into startups. And that's what we're doing with the government as partner, along as others. So we're open, calling for partners like yourself. Thank you for being this opportunity.
Thank you for coming
and other
through.
Partners around the DPs or banks or corporate that have got the support for young people. Let's talk. Whether on trainings or you want to have any funding to any startup and all those things, we can talk. Let's get on board and support the space.
So in conclusion, I'll say for AGS specifically, how do people reach you? You've called for partners.
Oh, yes.
How do they reach you? And then your final words.
Of course. Final words, yes. Let me just put a contact out there. We are online. Like I said, our new office at Matayako. Just put in there Association of Ghana Startups on Google Map. It will bring us straight to our office. We are Matayako, just behind the police quarters. We'll bring you their direct office. Then our website, of course, is www.agsghana.org, www.agsghanainfo.org. If you want to send us an email, you can always just email us at info@agsghana.org or corporate@agsghana.org. If you want to talk to me directly, which I normally don't do this, but if you want to talk to me, we can talk directly as young people. I don't mind. Let's talk. You can call me. Just WhatsApp me, 02431 58017, 02431 58017. If you're a young guy out there and you have any idea to run as a business, whether you're a student or you're out of school or you are doing anything as a business and you want any support to scale, please, let's talk. Reach out to me and let's talk. Or you can just go on any of our social media pages. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn myself, Solomon Ajay, Instagram, or other social media, Facebook, myself. You can reach out to me directly or AGS pages and we can talk from there. We are happy to support you. You are the reason why we are here. And so let's talk and see how best we can build ourselves up as young people. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon Ajay, President of Ghana Association for Ghana Startups. Amazing conversation. And this is how we'll bring down the curtains on our show, Next Gen Connect. I also have a few announcements. Next week on the 27th of February, we are having our AfriVenture Tech Fridays. I mean, last week we mentioned that we want to encourage a lot of young people to start tech startups in Ghana, and the only space to do that is to build a conversation around and build communities around tech startups. So come to the University of Ghana Business School, our Student Experience Center. Let's have conversations about starting your own business in tech and how we can find opportunities in the ecosystem. We've brought our show to the end, and then same time next week we'll come out your way with interesting opportunities and conversations within the youth startup ecosystem. Up next is Highway 1019 with Richard Sticks on Z101.9. Thank you, and see you again next week.